Thank y'all for having me. I've been looking forward to this probably almost a year now. I can't get this out of the stand. So, there we go. But my name is Charlie. I've been going here for about a year and a half now, but my name is Charlie, and I've noticed a lot of people are naming their dogs Charlie now. And I have a friend, she's got a dog named Charlie, and I was at her house, and she was like, "Come here, Charlie." And I was in her lap licking her face before I realized she was talking to the dog. So that proved a little awkward. But thank y'all for having me. I've loved GOODNAZ. I've been Nazarene forever. So I know that God has called me to make people laugh. I told my grandmother one time that I wanted to be a country singer. And she was like, "That would mean you have problems. You're Nazarene. Nazarenes don't have problems." So I know, and you know, Proverbs 17:22 says laughter is good like medicine. And you know, the Bible constantly tells us to rejoice. And how can you rejoice and not laugh and be happy? Like Tommy said, I was at a Church of Christ a few weeks ago, and those were the quietest laughers I've ever heard in my entire life. But they were very welcome. But it's just like home here. So thank you so much for having me. And like I said, I've been looking forward to this. But my name is Charlie McCoyne. I've always been this size. I was so big the day I was born, I drove the family home from the hospital. I've always been that big old boy. You're a big old boy, ain't you? I've heard that forever. First day of kindergarten, Mama gave me this little talk on the front step. She's like, "Now the teacher's going to take you to the very back of the room. It's not because she don't like you, it's just so the normal sized kids can see over you." And she did. She took me in, took me to the back, and there I was. And I was like the bouncer of kindergarten. I was the biggest one in there. I was bigger than the teacher. And in the 4th grade, I was so big when we were studying the human body, they traced me. I was the only one big enough to get the organs in. So I have been this size forever. And I've recently, and I love food too. This Daniel plan that we've started, it was like, I want to do this, but I love food. It's like you just don't fully understand. Being from the South, we have a relationship with our food. Yes, thank you. You have a relationship with your food, and I'll do anything to lose weight. And by anything, I mean anything except diet and exercise. Pretty much is the bottom line there. But I love butter. And people seem to be scared of butter, but I love butter. I mean, if it was not for butter, a Southerner's blood would not clot. I believe that wholeheartedly. And now that Nazarenes can go to the movies, does anybody remember that, not being able to go to the movies? I thought that would go over very well, but never mind, we'll move on. But going to the movies, I remember going to the movies when you did not get to control your butter. You would order your popcorn, and there was a lady that would put the butter on the popcorn, and they would always ask, "Do you want butter on this?" I just paid $39.50 for that popcorn. Put some butter on it, please. And then when I'm on some kind of diet, I give myself a pep talk outside. It's like, they're going to ask you for popcorn. Just say no. No, I don't want any popcorn. No, I'm on a diet. Thank you, I don't want any popcorn. And as soon as I get into the movie theater, they don't even get out, "Would you like some popcorn?" And it's like, yes, I want some popcorn. And I want some Raisinets and Jujubes and Sour Patch Kids. I want all you got to put some butter on it. And that's I'm sharing. That's a story. But like I said, I'll do anything to lose weight. I recently joined the gym, and it's very intimidating to join the gym. I don't know if you've been to the gym lately, but there's all the bodybuilders are in a room. They need to lock that room up and put them by themselves, because there's a lot of grunting and mirror looking and strutting, and I haven't even seen them pick anything up yet. But they're. And I get on the treadmill, and I was so embarrassed. I was intimidated. I get up there, and I didn't even know how to turn the treadmill on. So I just started pushing stuff, and it looked like the control panel to the Starship Enterprise. And I just kept hitting stuff. I'm like, I'm either going to beam somebody up, or this thing's going to take off, one of the two. And then I tried the elliptical. Do you know what the elliptical is? It's got the things that goes this way, and then your feet go the same way. Well, I got on that and tried to check my heart rate, got my t-shirt caught in it, and I thought it was going to rip me naked right there. in the middle of the gym. And then I decided to go a safer route. I heard a lot about yoga. And somebody was like, now you can't be a Christian and do yoga. And I'm like, it's a bunch of sweating and heavy breathing. I do this on Sunday morning trying to get my pants on. I mean, I don't see much difference. And running, I've started, that is what I found that I like to do. I like to run, which has totally surprised me. And what I realized from running is two things happen. There's the way you think you look when you run. I think I'm like a little hottie running down the beach. But then there's the way you actually look. I look more like a fat monkey chasing a banana. But it's getting better. And I tried to get on this Zumba wave. I think they have Zumba here on Tuesdays. I tried Zumba and realized that Zumba is my tribal name for big fat white boy can't dance. Is what that has boiled down to. But, you know, one thing with Southerners that we do, and you know, people are scared of butter, back to butter a minute, because that's what I think about most of the day is butter, is, you know, the thing that I'm scared of in a Southern household is that gelatinous bacon grease that sits right in the middle of the stove. I have no idea what that's for. I know my grandmother, she like greases her locks with it in the wintertime to keep them from freezing, and she's like, do not touch that, it's for emergencies. I don't know what constitute a bacon grease emergency. You know, Lord, honey, your mama fell in the driveway and the dog's got the mange. Go get that bacon grease. It sits in the middle of the stove. Hurry. And I have an Aunt Pearl. She swears by the medicinal purposes of fried chicken. She's like, honey, my stomach was upset and I had me a leg. Your lips look chapped. Go get you a thigh. There's a big bucket of kernels in there. Go get you a thigh. And if you ever notice, fat people don't have chapped lips. Just saying. But I did, like I said, I'm trying to lose weight, and I joined this national weight loss program that I'm no longer allowed to say the name of. But they like to watch weight. Just think about that for a second. I like to watch weight. Are you with me?
Yes.
Yeah, if you don't get it, ask somebody at the table. I went somewhere and they're like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm like, just never mind. Just don't worry about it. It's not important. But this program, they give you points. And it's like a sick board game. Just because you get the most points doesn't mean you win. It just means you're fatter. And you need more points to live. That's pretty much what that means. And the points get in your head because they have a little motto, you bite it, you write it. So whatever you eat, you write it down. I tried to get my cousin to join with me. I'm like, Katie, come on, let's go to this national weight loss program that I'm no longer allowed to say the name of. And she's like, oh, those people are mean. I'm like, it's because they're hungry. Shut up and come on. But like I said, the points get in your head. And I was watching this program on the Discovery Channel about strange addictions. And the addiction was for this one lady, she ate couch cushions. And in her lifetime, she had eaten 7 couches, 2 armchairs, and all of her mother's shoulder pads. And the only thing I could think about was how many points is that on that national weight loss program that I'm no longer, I didn't see that in the, and then you go, this is the thing, you go and there's a leader of the group. Anybody been here, been to this program? Yeah, it's like you're like, yeah, the leader tries to play therapist, in my personal experience. So she's like, so Charlie, why do you eat? Well, I eat because I like the way food, smells. I like the way food tastes. I like the way it feels when you rub it all over your face. No, Charlie, that is not a real reason. Did you know if you did not eat with your fat friends, you wouldn't eat as much? Well, if I didn't eat with my fat friends, I really wouldn't eat with anybody at all. No, Charlie, I am being serious here. Did you know if you did not make gatherings about food, you wouldn't eat as much? Well, if it wasn't about the food and it was just family, what's the point of getting together? No, Charlie, I am being serious. Did you know being overweight is a choice? And they're real sweet about it. I'm like, yeah, I know it's a choice. When I have nothing to do on Saturday morning, I just lay in the bed. What am I going to do today? I think I'm going to go get fat. Better yet, you know that brand new pair of brown pants? I think I'm going to go bust the whole hind end out of those. And that's one thing I hate. When you order clothes off the internet now, more, catalog used to be, you get pants and they're the exact same color. One's black, one's brown, but the brown pants are like 10 times tighter than the black pants. Has anybody been there? That drives me insane. It's like they're just different colors. But here's a tip. If you don't take anything home tonight, this works like 98% of the time. You put on the tight pants, you can wet the problem areas and then squat it out. I did this one morning. It sounded like somebody popped a can of biscuits in the bathroom. I took those pants and took them to my grandmother, and she's like, well, honey, that is just old thread. That's all that is. Not that I was trying to cram too much in a small bag. That was just old thread. It's a Christian thing to do, is justify it, But I come from a small town, small town. I mean, we're so small that we had 2 newspapers, but one had to close because we only had enough information for one. Small town. And we're very metropolitan now. We are a 2 funeral home town now. We have a 24/7 obituary line. So, don't know, just call. You hear it 24/7. It plays on a loop. Or the new one has a marquee that says now showing. We're very uptown. But if you've lived there, you have loyalty to the old funeral home. That's where generations of your family is laid out, in that funeral home. And so only new people use the new funeral home. And like my grandmother will see somebody in town. Oh, I'm sorry about your daddy dying. Where's he at? Oh, he's at the new funeral home. And she gets this look of pity and disgust, was he saved? We just use Wilkerson and Wiseman, right? So it's this, but it's a small town thing. And I even went to mortuary school for 2 hours. But I learned a lot while I was there. I learned that the funeral business needs to change. Because when I die, I want to be buried with my eyes open and a smile across my face. I just want to be like, and then I want to scare the mess out of whoever comes to see me and pays respects. Oh, he looks, whoa, my goodness. Whatever. Okay, there you go. Okay, I can't look at, I can't look at that. Okay. But better yet, smile. This is what I was thinking. Smile on my face, eyes open, but my eyes shifted just slightly to the right. So when somebody does come pay their respects and can stand to look, it's like, oh, he looks good. I just don't know what he's looking at. But honestly, I did go to mortuary school because I thought this was a career option. But I like to have a good time, and that's not really conducive to the funeral home, just FYI. But funerals are, I went to so many funerals as a kid. I started rating them. It's like, oh, that was a good one. That was a 10. And then I thought it was a restaurant chain for a long time because we only ate there 3 times a week, And that's when I realized when I do go, I want the buffet line just to start at the end of my casket and just work its way down, kill 2 birds with 1 stone, go through, oh, is that real butter? Oh, he looks good. But I realized going to mortuary school that funerals are expensive. And if I'm going to pay that much for a box, I want you to strap that thing on top of the hearse. And we can do a couple victory laps around City Hall before we pull in. Or better yet, just get a cheap metal one. I don't know if they do scratch and dent, push, pull, or drag. I don't know. But who cares if the whole end is mashed in? We can just put that bad side up against the wall, like you do furniture and figurines, just face and my grandmother's figurines all face the wall because they were all broken. It looked like they were all in timeout. But I'm like, why not? Why not? But like I said, I've lived in the South forever. I was thinking about doing Ancestry.com. They got a new thing where you can swab your mouth and you can send it in and they'll tell you where you're